good. I thought I would be, but that's the only thing I knew was Garth. Are we doing lunch today?
I cannot. I have a business lunch today.
That's incredible. It's about time you did something. So, thank you, and we had a great time at the Beef Farm last night. I hope more people show up. And when you left, there was like 230 cars and more coming in.
Well, it's a good thing I did leave, and because the cars were lined up way out past the street, waiting for someone to leave so they could come in.
Really?
It was that busy last night.
Well, because I know that place will hold 420 cars.
Well, then that's how many they had, and then some probably.
Well,
so.
I don't think so, because I was with Quinny's brother, and he was counting, and he was at 230 at that time.
No, well,
whatever.
There was quite a line there, that's all I can say.
It's quite a line. It's quite a good event, and that event will end at the end of September and go to what I believe is a Sunday morning cars and coffee type thing.
All right.
So there you go.
So what song are you going to pick?
He already picked.
Oh, which one? I was interrupted
right
by
Dusty Springfield.
Dusty Springfield. Okay. All right. Yeah. Even though mine was peppier.
No, Dusty's was better in my opinion.
Okay. All right.
That's my opinion. You don't.
You're entitled. You're entitled.
You have no taste in music. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Good morning. To my speaking.
Morning, everybody. Louise today.
Yes.
And this is Wavy Davy. I'm going to vote for a tough choice, like you said. I mean, these British female singers, they had this rasp to their voice. It's just good. Like even these other ones I can think of, like Lulu and Yvonne Elliman. But I'm going to go with Dusty, I guess. I'll go with Dusty. And on your trivia, your movie trivia thing, Glenn Close
is correct.
And it was the Chill and Attraction, but the Garth, I can't. Was she in the movie that Steve referred to? Garth, The World According to Garp?
Yes.
I don't know what.
Yes.
Yes.
Apparently she was. I never saw that movie, but the Big Chill. Is one of my favorites.
The Big Chill was a really good movie.
Great soundtrack.
Yes.
Of course, Fatal
What are you shaking your
Attraction
head for?
was very
I didn't like the movie.
popular. Boiling
I love the
Rabbit,
soundtrack.
Who plays the dead guy in the beginning?
I don't know. That's true. There's a dead guy, and that's what they're all gathering, right? Is death? They're gathering.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know that one. If you want to leave it out there for the radio audience.
I will leave it out there. Louise knows, and I know.
Louise knows. You know.
He was because he was not given a speaking role. They didn't even show his face.
Yeah.
They promised him a big role in the next movie, which he did get.
I'll just keep listening for the answer because I don't know it, and I won't cheat and look it up. All right. I'm going to take you right to the break then, I guess.
Yes, you did. So, all right. Thank you for answering the question and your vote.
Oh, and Bob Hope, I know I heard it before, I read it before, Johnny Carson, he didn't like Bob Hope because it was like all about him, I think, something like that.
No.
And when he would come out, it would be, or he had to laugh. I don't know.
No. You'll
have the answer to that one today, right?
You're kind of getting there, but it's.
I know it because it was something like that. And I can't just.
I'll give you the answer. I'll give you the answer.
All right.
Whenever Bob Hope appeared, every single word that was spoken between him and Johnny Carson was scripted. He would not add. He would not go on and allow any ad-libbing. So Carson hated
He was
that.
not that. He was not a Jonathan Winters or a Robin Williams. He was
no.
Everything was scripted with him from his radio days, movies. He was always reading. Yeah.
Yep. He would. And
he wasn't genuinely originally just funny in his own himself.
No, he had to have his writer. He had to have his writers. Of course, there's a talent in how you can deliver. There are certain things. So
There's some comics are both. Like they're a combination. They have joke writers and they have scripted stuff, but yet they can ad lib, and that's that's their plus, I think. All right. That's all I got today.
All right.
Keep listening. Yep. Bye-bye.
All right, very good. We're going to go to a break. We'll be right back.
OM 1240.
Hi, my name is Brad Azinski, and I currently live in Washington State. Why does a man who lives 3,000 miles away from Woonsocket care about the mayor's race? Because one of the men seeking that job is my uncle, John Ward. Let me tell you about John Ward, not the finance director or city councilman, but the man, and how he changed the course of my life. As a teen, I started getting into serious trouble at school and with the law. I was expelled from Cumberland High School and soon found myself in the DCYF system, but in March of '94, my Uncle John and Aunt Kathy stepped up and took me into their home, despite knowing their two sons would be exposed to their older cousin. John and Kathy helped me get back on track by ensuring I was enrolled at Woonsocket High School, staying out of trouble, and landing my first job washing dishes at Christopher's Restaurant. I'm a proud class of 1996 WHS grad and went on to earn a computer engineering degree. I've since had an extraordinary career where I've traveled the world living in 3 countries outside the US and rose into the executive ranks of Intel and now Samsung. I'm blessed with an incredible career and a family of a wife and 4 children, none of which would have happened without John. He taught me the value of education, hard work, and resiliency. Most importantly, he showed me the value of integrity and doing the right thing. John came into my troubled life and turned me around. Now he looks forward to turning around the city that I call my hometown and all of you call home. I know he can do it because I lived it. My uncle saw that I could do better. Woonsocket can do better too. Please elect John Ward for mayor.
Paid for by friends of John Ward.
This Tuesday and every Tuesday throughout the summer is Car Cruise Night at the Beef Barn in North Smithfield. Car Cruise Night was very popular last year. In fact, more than 200 modern and classic cars and trucks attended each week. There's no charge to participate, and it's open to the public. So make plans to be at the Beef Barn every Tuesday. Car Cruise at the Beef Barn starts at 3 p.m. Check their website in case of inclement weather. Car Cruise every Tuesday beginning at 3 p.m. at the Beef Barn, 200 Industrial Drive, North Smithfield.
Okay, all right, we are back, and let's get right to the calls. Good morning, to whom am I speaking?
Good morning, Gary.
Morning, Moose.
Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Moose.
Good morning, lovely Louise.
Thank you, Moose. Good morning to you.
All right, nice to hear your voice. And
Likewise.
A pleasant surprise this morning. I didn't know you were going to be on the show, but
Neither did I.
Indeed, I am. Indeed, I am. I'm very happy, and so I'm sure you can throw out some stuff with your great knowledge that you have, ma'am, and your Johnny Ray question. I seen Ed Sullivan repeats. It was on years ago in syndication, and Johnny Ray was on. I don't think it's his song that he did, "Cry." That's not it, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is it?
It is.
Oh.
Well, like I said, these questions come from Trivial Pursuit RPM edition, and some of them are very, very obvious. But, you know, for others who aren't as knowledgeable as you, Moose, would find it difficult.
Well, yeah, because the Ed Sullivan, he was on, he was on, this had to be mid-50s or something. He sang another song, and I couldn't think of it. It was The Cloud or something. Maybe somebody knows. Sheila would know. But he sang that on the show itself. But Cry, everybody knew Cry.
Yep.
If you're a sweetheart, if you didn't cry in that song, forget it. So I think that's your answer. Your commonality, Gary, it was Glenn Close. Was that what the answer was?
Yes.
Dark. What's the dark thing, Gary?
That was GARP.
Oh, GARP.
World According to GARP.
Oh, I thought it was dark, as opposed to light. But when it's Fatal Attraction, everybody remembers that. Boy, she was something else in that movie, that's for sure. But listen, the 2 songs that you picked, you played Anyone Who Had a Heart before. Cilla Black, when you first played it months ago, Gary, I kept this song. I love Cilla Black. She was one of the top British females singers in the 60s. And I couldn't figure out why Anyone Who Who Had a Heart was not released as a single in the United States. It was number 1 in the UK. What happened was Bacharach got Dionne Warwick to do it and record it almost at the same time that Cilla Black did it. It was a matter of 2 or 3 weeks. Both versions were out. Cilla Black in the UK and Dionne Warwick's in the United States. So I couldn't figure out why this song was not released as a single, because this song is great. She's so good in that. She is so good. But I have to go with my favorite female singer ever in the 60s. I have to go with Dusty. This is a hard choice. This is a very hard choice.
I agree.
Oh, my goodness. Boy, can she sing, Cilla Black. My God, can she sing. So I'm a very, very close edge, and there's no losers here.
Lee was initially going to go with Petula Clark, and that would have also been a very difficult choice.
Yeah, you're featuring British female singers. There's a few others down the line, but the Queens, you just about mentioned them all. But anyway, okay, I got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
Quickly. This commonality that I have with Bob Hope, Trini Lopez, the Beatles,
Marvin
Gaye. I'm going to throw in Neil Diamond and Reunited. And you were on the right track. They all have something in common. And speaking of the Beatles, what did this double-sided hit by the Beatles, Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You, double-sided top 10 hit? They're only double-sided top 10s to feature this. It has something to do within the group. P.S. I Love You and Love Me Do, double-sided single in 64. Johnny Cash's answer will come up later on. Number 1 country hit in 57. It cracked the top 40. I'll get that out later. And that's what I got for now.
Okay.
Okay, so very, very close. Dusty, you don't have to say you love me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Lee predicted a, what'd you call it?
Landslide?
A landslide, yes. And I'd like to see Lee get a landslide, actually. Lee needs a little boost
so
once in a while. So I want to continue on with our teacher appreciation theme here that we started yesterday.
School days.
So if you have a teacher that you thought was particularly noteworthy, give us a call and give them a little press here. You got to do that. I mean, teachers don't go into the teaching profession for the money. So a nice thank you from a former student would be a nice thing. And I want to extend that a little bit to people that inspired you to your career, whether it's your current or your first or your best. People how do we get to where we got when it comes to picking a career or a job? What got you to that point? And I've mentioned this before. I don't think it was your guidance counselor. I'm really on this thing about guidance counselors. Like, they shouldn't even be in. Shouldn't be on the payroll. And please, if you can defend one, by all means do so. Their job may in fact be in the balance here. So. With that, we'll get right to the calls. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Sheila.
Good morning, Sheila.
Very quick call. And hello, Louise.
Hello, Sheila.
Okay. First of all, Dusty Springfield. And secondly, Little White Cloud That Cried was my mother's favorite Johnny Ray song. And I had heard his record play over and over again at my house. So I think that's what Moose was trying to say, the other song for Johnny Ray.
Yeah.
And so also, just quickly, actually in high school, my bookkeeping teacher she was not only a teacher, but we used to take her out for coffee, my friends and I, because we liked her so much, and she was just a pleasant person. And so she had a great influence, because I always was very interested in, when I was, as a child, rather, I used to play with the radio dial, the buttons as cash registers and so forth, playing with money and fake money and all like that. So I had an affinity for things like that. And so that's why I went into the bookkeeping field for 30 years. And so with that, guys, I'm going to have to go, and I shall probably talk to you tomorrow.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Sheila.
Okay, bye-bye.
And I think it's great that you students took out a teacher. I used to believe, I'm not sure if I'm there today or not, I think I probably am, that teachers should live in the town that they teach in so that students would know them as real people. And I think it would make their jobs much easier.
Easier for the students to harass them also.
Well, there's something to be said for that.
Yeah,
but
if they didn't like
but if you are a teacher that is that kind of teacher that's going to be subject to harassment, then
Yeah.
maybe you ought to rethink your profession.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'd rather see a teacher that whose lawn needed mowed, and some young person went and mowed it for him or her. So, I mean, that's the kind of interaction that I would like to see in my dream world, in my little small town personality kind of thing. So, anyway,
That was an episode in Leave It to Beaver. He went and did yard work for, who was his teacher? Oh, he was madly in love with her.
well,
And then her boyfriend showed up to pick her up while he was doing the yard work.
oh yeah, that's right. Yes, now I remember that episode. Yeah,
and
he did
they're
not
going
like
to play tennis.
he did not like him at all.
No.
Yeah, but they did make up in the end.
Yeah.
So. Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning, folks. Dave from North Providence. How are you
Hey,
today?
Dave.
Lee brought up an interesting question about Leave It to Beaver. I thought it was kind of funny when Beaver actually saw his teacher with her new fiance. And it was all the gossip around town, which was kind of funny. He couldn't believe that his teacher was leaving for him for another guy. That was a great episode, though. Kind of brought teachers into a real life.
What was the teacher's
you
name?
would say. For the life of me, I can't remember right now.
I'm gonna remember it.
Miss Campfield.
It's something. Yeah.
She died fairly young. She had a
Yeah.
terrible smoking habit, and that did her in, I think, if I recall correctly.
I remember she was on an episode of Perry Mason and played the dark, dangerous, murderous woman.
All the way from Mayfield.
Yeah.
Dave, are you coming in on Friday?
I never said I was.
No, I know you didn't. But, no, but you're doing the song challenge with Steve. So
Yeah, I'll have to call that in if I
so
can.
you'll have to call it in. Yeah, I didn't think you'd be able to come in because you work for a living. So
Yep. My choice would probably be Cilla Black today, and I'm really amazed why she never did a Bond theme, because she reminds me a lot of Shirley Bassey.
well, maybe she was too much.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Could be.
needed something a little different.
And you said you'd had Louise on the show today. I didn't realize you had Tina Louise there. With that red hair, you know.
Well, it's
Let you get off the island.
No comment.
she was trying to be incognito, hence the lack of camera appearances
No
today.
camera presence. Yeah. Boop boop be doo.
But you blew it. You blew it.
I know, but it's great hearing you on the radio, Louise, in person on the studio, and I hope you have a great day, and hope you all have a great day today.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Dave.
and
Okay.
we will
Bye-bye.
be right back.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street in Woonsocket. This is ON AM and FM.
WOON Woonsocket.
When you visit the Menard Locature Funeral Home's website, you'll find a wealth of important information, including frequently asked questions about the various options of pre-planning funeral etiquette, visitation, personal help to help the family, and many others. Remember, pre-planning is safe and helpful to family members who may be overwhelmed with details and responsibilities. It also assures that the deceased's final wishes are met. Their website will also feature several photos of their two beautiful and classic funeral homes at 127 Carrington Avenue, Woonsocket, and 71 Central Street, Manville. You'll be treated with courtesy and understanding. Their main phone number is 762-1825. Menard Locature Funeral Homes.
This ON Radio weather forecast is sponsored by Interstate Seal Coating. Call Lance at 401-349-9360 for seal coating and crack filling to parking lot striping. Call Lance at 349-9360 today and he'll seal you tomorrow. Sunny skies and 78 degrees with light and variable wind. Tonight, clear. Overnight low of 47, a breeze from the south. Thursday's weather, sunshine and 78. Friday, sunshine and 73. Saturday, sunshine and 75. Sunday, a few more clouds, but partly sunny skies at a high of 73. Monday, sunshine and 73. And next Tuesday, sunshine and 73 degrees.
Imperial Cars' month-long Labor Day sales event is going on now. Save thousands when you shop and compare 7 brands and over 2,000 new, used, and certified pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs at one location, ImperialCars.com. Take advantage of interest rates as low as 1.9% on our most popular models. We work with over 60 lenders to get you the best rate. Check out our huge selection of vehicles under $20,000. Click ImperialCars.com.
All right, we are back, and we need something. Louise, you got any more trivia questions?
Well, one question that I have is, what brash teen idol broke Frank Sinatra's attendance record at the Copacabana? And also, because I know we dabble once in a while, we talk about country artists. Who was the first woman to top the country charts? Who was the first woman to top the country charts, and which brash teen idol broke Frank Sinatra's attendance record at the Copacabana?
All right. Good morning. To who am I speaking?
Good morning. It's Bobby.
Bobby.
And the teacher you're looking for is Alice Landers.
Yes, Miss Landers.
Miss Landers. Yep. Thank you. Just didn't come to my mind.
No.
She reminds me so much of my third grade teacher, Miss Evans.
My third grade teacher was a short, rotund, very sweet lady, Mrs. Tua.
Well, when I was in second grade, and I've told this story some time ago, I'll tell it again. The teacher that was in the classroom next to us, teaching third grade, she had a tough class. I mean, these guys were all the juvenile delinquents in town, such as they were back in that day, which really wasn't terrible. But we would listen to her yell and scream constantly, and we had the very strict old lady, Mrs. Grace Hutchinson, who was just, one of those, had a huge heart. She didn't show it a lot, but when she did, it was great. But we were coming from her classroom. We knew we were going into that third grade classroom the next year, and we were just scared to death that we were, and not just scared, but we weren't looking forward to going to third grade because of this teacher. And fortunately, that year was so bad for her that she retired forever from teaching, and we got a first-year teacher, Miss Evans, who was delightful and very, like I said, very much like Miss Landers, and that was like one of the great breaks of my life, and which I continue to have throughout my life, and but that was probably the first great thing that happened to me. So anyway.
Well, Miss Tua was a great teacher. She gave me the final 2 weeks off this is in Oklahoma, and my family had to travel north to pick up my grandfather's belongings. And she decided that I would probably learn more during those last 2 weeks than I would sitting in a classroom. So I was excused.
Wow.
I've mentioned my 5th grade teacher before, the old Jewish woman. I had several English teachers in high school that I absolutely adored. And the only other teacher I can remember fondly was my accounting teacher in college. And my accounting class, unfortunately, was first thing in the morning at 8 o'clock when I'm barely awake. And I kept nodding off in her classroom, and she would throw erasers at me.
That's great. That's great. I love that. Throwing erasers, yes.
And she signed my freshman yearbook in college to my sleepy time kid. And she was a delightful lady. She really was. So, unfortunately, I didn't hear either song today because I started the day late.
That's okay.
And the vice president and all of his minions are making an appearance tomorrow, so everyone's running around trying to put lipstick on the pig, and I think it's pointless. But that is it for right now for remembrances.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Speaking of sleeping in class, I had one teacher that should not have been a teacher. He was a wonderful, nice, kind gentleman, but he was a terrible teacher. And he would he taught geography, and he would just put us to sleep, and I mean sleep. I mean, I'd put my head down in my arms, and I would just fall asleep. I mean, it wasn't that I was particularly tired, but his voice just droned on, and he would just kind of hypnotize you into sleep. I mean, it was just terrible. People, there ought to be some kind of audition.
That's the perfect word.
It's just, you have a huge responsibility when you're a teacher. You have these kids' lives in your hands. Their futures. You have a chance to inspire them, and when you aren't able to live up to that what's the word? Help me out. That aspiration or whatever. Then you shouldn't be doing it. You just shouldn't. So that's my opinion. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Well, this is Wavy again. That Louise put out that question about, and I'm going to guess that he broke Frank Sinatra's, I think, at the Copa. Is it Bobby Darin?
You are correct. You are correct.
Hey, you are correct, sir. Ed McMahon used to say to Johnny Cuss.
And
Ed McMahon.
And where does the word brash come in? Was he?
Yes.
I didn't write the question. I just read them. Blame
You
Trivial
are correct,
Pursuit.
sir. You are correct, sir. We haven't heard from Paul from Pawtucket in a while, so I had like 2 jokes I want to share. These, I think, are pretty funny. They're not riddles. Is a tip for a happy marriage to any husband. Never ask your wife, when will dinner be ready, while she's mowing the lawn.
Okay.
And then my grandfather, he used to always say, one door is shuts and another one opens. He was a sweet old guy, but he was a very bad cabinet maker. No. I just wanted to throw those in.
All right. I just got the second one, so that,
little levity.
All right.
Yeah. All right. That's all I got right now.
Okay. Yes. I'm trying to edit myself here because I have some things I wanted to say, but I'm not going to. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Hey, guys, back at it.
Hey, Moose.
I like that Wavy Davy thing. Never ask your wife mowing the lawn. I don't know where you got that, but it is quite comical. Louise.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to take a shot. And I don't know. I'm not that good with country. I'm not good. I mean, I've never followed it that much until the few years when I started listening to Do You Remember, country comes up a lot. But, I mean, could it, did you get there some Trivial Pursuit as well?
Yes, this is a question from the RPM edition, and it's the 1950s category, if that helps you.
Well, I don't know. Patsy Cline was born in 1930. She would be my first guess.
And that is not correct.
I didn't, well, I tried.
Yeah.
Is it Dolly?
Oh, no, I think Dolly came later,
Oh, yeah.
but it is
Later,
not.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's a
Peter
name
Davis?
you've heard of, but, you know, certainly not as prominent as Patsy Cline.
Stand by your man, girl?
No. Is
No,
that
I
Tammy
don't know.
Wynette?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's not.
I don't know. I thought it might be Patsy Cline. Anyway, first of all, Gary, and I'd like to wish the best for Marie. Hopefully she gets out of the hospital today and all went well.
She came home last night, and she's has to go back in today for something. But yeah, she'll be fine.
Okay. I want to give you my best, Marie, and of course, Fast Eddie. Hurry back to the show when you can. Time for the answer for this commonality with,
Neil Diamond, Trini Lopez,
right,
the Beatles, Marvin Gaye, and Bob Hope.
Bob Hope, Lemon Drop Kid. Trini Lopez, Lemon Tree. The Beatles, Strawberry Fields. Neil Diamond, Cherry, Cherry.
Peaches and Herb.
Peaches, reunited Peaches and Herb.
Fruits.
That's it. Fruits. That's it. All mentioned fruits.
I had 2 of them yesterday.
You had, of course, Marvin Gaye's Grapevine, heard it through the grapevine. But you had...
I had lemon
you
drop.
had lemon.
I had lemon drop and lemon tree.
Trini. Yeah. So that's the answer, fruits. I guess that was a little more difficult than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny Cash answered his first country chart hit, #1 country chart hit, 57. Ballad of a Teenage Queen. Did you ever hear that?
Nope.
I've heard it. I've heard it, but I can't recall it.
Uh-huh. That's the answer. Ballad of a Teenage Queen. I'm going to leave the Beatles out there. Double-sided hit. Love Me Do, P.S. I Love You. Their only double-sided top 10 hit that featured this. And the answer comes from within the group. So think when the song came out, and perhaps that'll open the door for the answer. So that's what I got for now.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Very good. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
OM 1240.
Every once in a while, you meet a businessman that you just can't wait to do business with. Steve Peluso of Peluso Precision Automotive at 93 Blackstone Street in Mendon, Mass. is such a man. He specializes in mechanical repairs of vintage and classic cars. And if you don't have one, you'll want to have one just to share the experience with Steve. Maybe you had one in the past, never had a resource like Peluso Precision Automotive to keep it running and chase down parts for you, but now you do. Stop in and see Steve, and Steve will steer you in the right direction. Call Peluso Precision Automotive at 508-478-8900. That's 508-478-8900.
And now, to benefit the 2024 Autumn Fest celebration, it's Autumn Fest Comedy Night.
When a teacher's most annoying, when they get testy.
Well, I can see we're going to have to bring the professionals in on this one. And folks, if you want to see true professional local comedians for a good cause, then come to the Autumn Fest Comedy Fundraiser, Friday, September 6th at the Woonsocket Elks Hall, 380 Social Street, Woonsocket. This is an 18-plus event. Doors open at 5 and the show starts at 6. Light snacks will be available along with a cash bar and lots of yucks. There'll be raffles, silent auctions, and door prizes. Tickets to the Autumn Fest Comedy Fundraiser are $30 per person. Purchase tickets online at this website, funny4funds.com. Bugged Out Barbecue will have their food truck in the parking lot starting at 5 p.m. for your edification. Come on out to the Autumn Fest Comedy Fundraiser, Friday night, September 6th at the Woonsocket Elks Hall, 380 Social Street, Woonsocket. Doors open at 5, and the food starts at 5, too.
This ONAM and FM forecast brought to you by Jig Air and Marchand Oil Service. 25 Montcalm Avenue in Blackstone. 508-883-6010. Sunny skies and 78 degrees with light and variable wind. Tonight, clear. Overnight low of 47, a breeze from the south. Thursday's weather, sunshine and 78. Friday, sunshine and 73. Saturday, sunshine and 75. Sunday, a few more clouds, but partly sunny skies at a high of 73. Monday, sunshine and 73. And next Tuesday, sunshine and 73 degrees.
All right, come on. There we go. We're back and getting right to the calls. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Hi, this is Hank.
I'm sorry?
Hi, this is Hank. Moose's question, I think he wants Ringo's not playing drums on either one of those songs.
Oh,
say that.
Ringo's not playing drums on either one?
Yeah, that's what I was going to guess. Paul's on drum.
No, it ain't Paul. It's some steel cat that George Brown wants to have because he's not taking them because Pete Duck was so. That was Ringo's first time. He never met him, so he said, let's get a studio cat this time.
Okay.
All right.
And who was
that? All right, that's my guess.
Very good. And
great job.
All right, thank you.
Great job.
Yeah, I think his radio was on. That was.
I think his name was Hank.
Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning, Gary. It's Al.
Hey, Al.
I got a couple of teachers I'd like to give a shout out to. I've been trying to get through the last couple of days. When I moved from Milford to Hopedale, I ended up going to the Dutchess Street School. You're probably familiar with
Sure.
that school.
Yeah,
It's across the street from
condominiums now.
Condominiums now, right. You know, when I went there as a fifth grader, the first teacher I had was a woman named Mrs. Jokinen, and she was awesome. Really good teacher. You know, coming from one town to another, you experienced that going from Franklin to Mendon.
Yep.
And the ironic thing was, so I was 10 years old in the fifth grade. 12 years later, I get out of school, and I'm substitute teaching like you did. Went back to Dutchess Street School, and it was just like Back to the Future. She was still there. It's like ironic.
Yes, I had that experience too, sitting in the teacher's room.
Isn't it unbelievable?
Barely able to see them through all the smoke in the room, but with teachers that I had in school as well. So yeah, that was kind of a weird experience.
Yeah, and then the next year, Mrs. Mungeon, she was a very big woman, strong woman. And whenever we got to math, when she'd be teaching about inverted fractions, she would always pick the smallest person in the class. And she'd say, in my class it was Henry Gillen. So he said, Henry, come up here. So she'll pick him up by his legs and she'll invert him and tip him over and hold him upside down. She said, this is what I mean for inverted, to get the fact across. So
I'm sure Henry loved that.
The change would be coming out, Henry's face was getting red, and like she was a riot. She was a riot.
All right.
But,
well, that kind of even beats throwing an eraser at a sleeping student. So.
Amen. I'm gonna go with the postmaster today, Gary. Rusty Springfield.
Okay.
Okay.
And I was wondering did Lee live on Dutchess Street?
I did. I did, right across.
Could you give me could you give me a number? Then I know exactly where you live.
24, across from the little church.
All right. Yep. Right next to the Diggs. Is the Diggs there? No.
That I was married to a Dig.
Oh wait. Oh.
Yeah, Kathy.
All right. Small world. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And just last year, we just buried Dickie, if you remember Dickie.
Yeah, well, I remember Dickie really well.
Yeah.
Definitely. Dickie, I lived right around, when I first got married, I lived right around the corner. If you go down, is it P Street? Where the statue is?
Yeah, Peace Street and the monument of Aiden Blue.
There's a house right across the street from where that park was, right across from the library. That's where I lived. I think the guy that lived there was Howard Smith at the time, or something like that.
Okay.
But, yeah, all right.
So my favorite teacher didn't teach in Hopedale, but she lived in Hopedale, Judith Robbins. And I'm sure you remember Scribby, her brother.
Yeah. Definitely.
He was
That's awesome.
he was a local character who wasn't quite all there, but you could see him. He did odd jobs with a wheelbarrow. He never drove, but he had a wheelbarrow and a shovel and a rake, and he would just wheel it around town doing yard work for people, and
Yeah.
Unreal.
I don't think he ever got any public assistance or anything. He just kept on working and till he died.
If you don't work, you don't eat, right? No.
Yeah, well, that's a great incentive.
Amen. All right, guys. Have a great day.
All right, thank you.
You take care.
All right. Louise, you had some teachers you wanted to talk about, I thought.
Well, first I'll throw out a couple of trivia questions related to teaching. I was talking to a young man yesterday from Texas, and we brought up the subject of Harper Valley PTA. And I remembered they did a made-for-TV movie about that song. And so my trivia question is, who played Mrs. Johnson in the made-for-TV movie Harper Valley PTA? And also, there was a 1970s TV show called Room 222. Who played the young teacher? She was new and on probation, and who was the actress that starred as that new teacher?
Who were any of the stars in that?
Lloyd Haynes was it Mr. Johnson? Lloyd Haynes, and
the Italian guy.
no, Michael Constantine was the principal.
Principal, yeah.
And then I'm forgetting the name of the love interest of Lloyd Haynes. She was an African-American actress.
Marla Gibbs?
No.
Was that her?
But I think she appeared in one of the Star Trek episodes, and I'm drawing a blank. But I used to watch that show all the time.
Oh, yes, yes.
So I think it was on a Friday night. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We loved watching school
related
shows,
yeah.
school-related shows.
Definitely.
They never had any real semblance to what we were experiencing, but they were interesting
Remember
nonetheless.
The show Fame, TV show Fame.
Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning, folks. Dave from North Providence again. How are you?
Hey, Dave.
Good.
I have Louise's two trivia questions. First of all, I think it was Barbara Eden played the Harper Valley PTA.
You are correct.
Movie. And in room 222, I think the actress you're looking for is Karen Valentine.
Yes.
And the actress you're trying to remember is Denise Nicholas.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you.
Actually, I think it was Nichols.
Nichols, yeah.
No, it's Nicholas.
It is? Okay, I defer to the expert.
Yeah. In fact, they're all going to be doing a little reunion at the convention I go to in October. Unfortunately, Denise Nicholas had to cancel, but it'll be Karen Valentine, Judy Strangers, who played the young girl with the bangs and the ponytail, and the guy with the orange afro, David Jolliffe, is going to be there. So it's going to be a little mini 222
Oh
reunion.
my God! What was that character's name?
I can't remember, but his name is
The
David
orange
Jolliffe in real life.
afro.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I just had that flash. Thank you for bringing that back.
I don't remember the kids at all. I just remember the
I don't
teachers.
either.
I just remember the adults.
And there was
Michael Considine played the principal.
Yes.
And there was, I remember, I think it was in the premiere, and she was being tested because in the first episode, the students overrun the classroom.
Uh-huh.
And there's a tall, slim African-American man or young man in her classroom, and he had a tighter afro.
Yeah.
And he would always put his feet on the desk. And
Yeah.
he would always intimidate her. And at the end, when she's getting used to being around the kids, she just hits his knee and she's like, so-and-so, take your feet off the desk. And I can't remember the kid's name. That I don't remember the actor at all. But, oh my goodness, yeah, I used to love that show. Watched it every week.
One of the younger kids, Eric Laneuville, he actually went on to be in St. Elsewhere. One of the younger African-American kids, the short kid.
Well, now I'll have to Google some episodes.
But I don't ever remember hearing from Lloyd Haynes again. I'm sure he must have done something, but certainly not as noteworthy as that.
I thought he was
Didn't
very
he do
handsome.
Dontari as well?
Who? What's that?
Doctari?
Oh, Doc.
Yeah,
Doc
he
Tari.
played the TV lead in the TV show Doctari about the African animal officers.
Oh, what was the name of the cross-eyed lion?
Clarence.
Oh, Clarence. Yeah. So I have a really good friend of mine. He's a big Karen Valentine fan. I got him an autographed picture for Christmas, and he was beside himself. So it'll be fun to see her, meet her in person.
Well,
as a matter of fact, at this show, Judy Strangers, the girl with the bangs and the ponytail, and Deidre Hall are going to be there. And they were also in a little short-lived show called Electra Woman and Dinah Girl. So they're going to have a reunion of those two as well.
Well, Deidre Hall, she went on.
Yeah.
To do what was the show with Wilford Brimley? She played
I don't know. I know she's doing.
She played the mother of Shannon Doherty.
Oh yeah. Yep, I remember that. I can't remember the name of the show.
Our House, I think.
Could be. Yeah,
maybe.
Very likely.
Do you remember that Karen Valentine starred in a made-for-TV movie? She played Gidget, like Gidget Grows Up or something like that. And she moves to New York. And which comedian was her neighbor?
Oh, Jerry. I can't remember his last name. He played Marsha Brady's husband in the Brady Bunch married thing.
No.
Jerry something or other.
No.
Okay.
Because I remember he was in a rabbit costume in one scene. I don't know why I remember this random stuff, but there's a scene in the movie where he's in a giant rabbit costume and he's adjusting the ears and he says, "I'll be getting Channel 7 any minute."
Great.
I think I'm going to go on YouTube tonight and see if any episodes of Room 222 are on there.
Well, I think I'll do the same. But since it's near the end of the show, it was, "I'll be getting Channel 7 any minute." Paul Lind. Paul Lind played the neighbor.
One of the greats.
Oh, that's great.
One of the greats.
My mother loved Paul Lind. We watched. We came home for lunch. I lived diagonally across the street from the school, so I could walk home for a homemade meal every day. And 11:30, Hollywood Squares was on, and I watched it as avidly as my mom.
And then Uncle Arthur on Bewitched. Hello, Sammy.
Yes. Anything he was in was good. He was just wonderful.
Yeah, he was. All right, folks, have a great day.
All
It'll be
right.
nice hearing you again, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Dave.
you.
We're going
Bye.
to take the last call. Good morning. To whom am I speaking?
Good morning, it's Bobby again.
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby again.
Okay, Dave beat me to it. I knew it was Barbara Eden and Karen Valentine, and I don't want to say religiously, but I loved 222. That was such a cool show.
Yep.
And then later on, The Paper Chase was a favorite. And my accounting teacher was not the first teacher to throw things. When I was in 7th or 8th grade, my shop teacher I'm pretty sure it was wood shop, but if you were not paying attention, a piece of 2x4 could be seen hurtling your way.
Good thing it wasn't a hammer.
Now, it's always a little piece of wood, and it was an attention getter because, of course, there's equipment in there that can hurt you.
Yes.
And he was trying to make a point, pay attention. And I guess he got reprimanded for throwing lumber.
All right. Well, thank you, Bobby.
All righty, that's it for now.
All right, and that will do it for us today. And
guess who won?
Oh, well, we don't really have to talk about that too much. We didn't do a studio vote.
No, I would vote for Dusty Springfield.
Yeah.
Louise?
Well, I'm sorry to break your heart, but I have to vote for Cilla Black. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Lee.
It's all right. I still win.
All right. So you got my Scylla?
Yeah.
So, all right, what is the score?
6-3.
That's not a landslide.
It's double what you had.
Well, it's still not a landslide. Landslide would have been 2, but Louise came to the rescue here and
Yeah.
prevented that catastrophe. So, all right. And because you voted for me, Louise, you're invited back again. We'll see what happens. We got to go. That'll be it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
WOON Woonsocket. This ON AM and FM weather forecast sponsored by Valley Transportation.